All right.
We're live.
We're live.
Welcome to the Finished Business Podcast. We are at the Marcus Whitman right now, and we have special guests. This is one half of Fat Cash & Co. There's 4 members altogether.
Fat Cash. Dizzle.
The Dawn, how you guys doing today?
And behind us, we have the stage. So we're throwing a show tonight, and that's talked about this before. I'm going to have them on the podcast and throw a show later. So
What time is the show? Just in case people want to show up.
doors open at 7.
All right.
And it's 6 West Rose Street in Walla Walla. So if we should start, do some introductions.
What up, everyone? What up, internet world? My name's RJ, aka The Dawn. I've been part of Fat Cash since its formation in late 2006, early 2007. My best friend, Indy, aka Fat Cash. And we're going to put on a hell of a show for you guys tonight. It's going to be off the chain, man. Like, that's really...
Yeah, all I can say is that we've got this way too much sound here for this room, so like it's gonna be crazy. And I don't know, DJing wise, it's gonna be fun, man. Just a little dance party, of course, some live music.
Full bar for those of you that like to get wet on a Friday night or Sunday.
This is kind of my feel, man. Like I love just being able to have control over a sound system and just be able to pump music, play my own music, and do all that. Like feel the crowd, get everyone dancing.
So when we first started talking, you asked about how big of a sound we could do. And I think I made a comment of we want to rattle the walls because there's no rooms around us. We pretty much are the farthest corner of the hotel. So I want to rattle the walls. And it looks like we can do that tonight. I'm really excited.
Yeah, man, I thought the chandelier was like shaking a little bit when you were bumping on that, man.
Yeah. So, hey, how did you guys get into rap? You always liked rap?
Well, I'd have to say that no. For me, traditionally, I'm not a big rapper. I wasn't into listening to a lot of rap music. I really liked doing mostly just listening to like alternative music. I'd have to say some of my favorite bands are like Chili Peppers, Incubus, kind of real chill sort of bands. And I mean, I've always liked hip hop. There was an age when I was younger where I listened to a lot of East Coast rap, like Puff Daddy and Mace and those guys. I wasn't too proud of my music choices from that time, but I mean, it's come around. At this point, I listen to a lot of classic music, but my friends listen to a lot of hip hop, and I like performing. So I was doing rock. I was a lead singer in a band at the time in high school, and that's kind of where it all started for me. And somewhere along the line, like I didn't really work out in the rock band. They wanted me to scream in or give in more effort than really I felt vocally I wanted to do. And so they kicked me out of the band, and I was devastated. It was like some of my best friends.
How old were you when this happened?
This was high school. It was like
16, 17.
Yeah, it was starting my junior year, and I just came off a summer where it was like, oh, fucking badass, I'm a rock star, that whole feel when you're young and feel super confident and untouchable. And then I got kicked out of my band, and then it was like, damn, oh well, I'm a little depressed and shit like that. But I kind of still had an itch for music. I always took choir class. I was in a guitar class, and yeah. And then I started hanging out with RJ. I've always hung out with RJ, but we started kind of hearing like from Brian and Mikey, who I thought they started doing the music first, rapping first, and we just thought it was funny, interesting. I like writing. RJ was about the same way, he just liked writing, and so we kind of all came together, and I wrote a song. Like a verse for a song, jokingly. I literally hit 5 bullet points that I thought are like super cliche rap things that you hear. It's like smoking weed, drinking and partying. It was having hella bitches, having hella money, and then it was killing cops. Like that's somehow we sneak killing cops in there. Never killed a cop, never killed anyone, obviously. But we just kind of thought that that's a staple you got to stick by if you want to be a fucking badass. So,
a badass rapper, right?
Yeah, so I made this joke rap. It had like 7 or 8 bars in it, and it kind of hit all my bullet points I wanted to, get out there. And when I performed it for people, I got a smile on my face. I changed my demeanor a little bit, and people liked it. Like, I could not believe how good of a response I got out of it. The more people wanted to hear me rap than they wanted to hear my band play. Plus, it was like, way easier to rap freestyle at a party than to like load up all your equipment and play like a house show.
That's true.
And a lot cheaper too.
You could put your beats on your phone and just go hook up to a sound system.
Yeah, Bluetooth that, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where it came to. Like, we just started rapping for our friends. They go, that's really good. I like that. Then we started just going to parties, and then, you know, now each one of us had something to spit when we got in a circle, and everybody loved it. I just remember having some hella badass parties. We wouldn't even write anything at the time. We just sit in a circle.
And just do verses.
Just do verses back and forth. Somebody beatbox, you know, Mikey and Frenchie, one of the guys who's not here today, like, they just... and just flow. And that's how it went, dude. To be honest, we did it because it was fun, partied a lot, got laid a lot from it. But in the end, I felt like we wanted more from it, you know? Change it into real music.
It really surprises me when you said that your rap wasn't your idea in the beginning, that you wanted to be in a band. So you could possibly change your group could go from a rap group to something else potentially.
I feel like we've pulled influences from almost like all types of music, you know, whether it was me and String Cheese growing up having to listen to country music in my dad's truck, or, you know, personally we grew up listening to like Korn, Slipknot, you know, Limp Bizkit, Metallica, you know, all those rock bands. And then for me it wasn't until I got out of high school and I started listening to rap. But I've always pulled a lot of inspiration from rappers like Eminem, 50 Cent, Tupac, Biggie, you know, just the old school rappers with like a nice, good, crisp flow, you know. And we're not big into a lot of the new music, but as far as
like mumble rap,
yeah, like the mumble rap, you know, that's not really our feel. We bring more of like a raw, hardcore.
I prefer to articulate. You know?
Yeah, yeah, you can understand what we're saying. If you listen closely to our lyrics, like, you will laugh at least once during every song. If you're really paying attention to the lyrics, you know. And we're just, you know, we're four best friends. You know, we all grew up together. You know, me and Mikey, String Cheese, obviously brothers. And then, you know, Tank and Fat Cash, we've known these guys since, you know, basically grade school. And so we bring to the table, I think, what a lot of other groups don't. And it's just that best friend flow, you know. And there's jokes that the group, you know, the audience might understand. But then there's also jokes that only the four of us understand. You know, you see us say something on stage and we all give each other some sort of look. You know, it's because that's how connected we are.
Rule 1A.
That's how connected we are as a band, you know, and I think that gives us an edge on other people who maybe met up at a later time in life and decided to start doing what they do. You know, and for me, I've always liked the idea of poetry and rhyming. And to me, rap is just poetry for the modern age, you know, for the young kid who doesn't want to open a book and read Shakespeare, but he can put in a CD, and as long as it has a good beat behind it, you know, and good lyrics, people are going to come back for it.
And raps kind of seems to be a lot cooler than poetry. So
rap's the shit. Yeah, rap is tight, you know. Everyone, you know. People who say they don't like it, they're lying.
No offense to the poetry people out there. Poetry, I respect you guys.
No, that's, you know, rap is poetry for a modern audience, you know. That's how I've always felt. I just love doing it. I love the good, you know, like he said, we've almost always gotten really positive feedback. You know, we've done rap battles against other people at parties and just smoked them, you know, and it's always just been like, you know, whether we did a good show or a bad show, we still come out swinging every time. You know, we always get back up on our feet. And,
so I think I got a little story time here, if I could, just to piggyback off that.
Yeah.
I remember an instance. One of our friends, Aaron McKinney, he was actually the guitarist in the band that I played for in high school.
Excellent guitarist.
Yeah, and he continued to play guitar afterwards. And he was in a band. I can't remember what the name of the band was. Then he played a Shyless at the time. They played a battle of the bands in Seattle, and he invited us all up there. Yes. It was a day right after Fat Cash and Chrome had a performance. Yeah. So we had a performance in Walla Walla. He said, I really want you guys to go out there. So we said, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we were tired and shit, but we knew it was just going to be a party and stuff. So we went out to Seattle to see his Battle of the Bands. And
10 hours of metal.
Yeah, it was intense, you know, and a huge set. Like, man, such a huge lineup. By the end of the night, the whole plan was we couldn't sit there for the whole show. And Aaron's, I think it was like his brother-in-law, his uncle-in-law, something like that, was like, I really want to give you guys the rock star treatment. You need that experience, right? So I'm going to have a limo pick you and your friends up from the show, right? and then we're gonna go back to the hotel room. It's gonna be a cheap hotel room. You know, we're gonna get a couple rooms in that hotel, and then
West Seattle, yeah.
And then you guys need to trash a room, full out, just the whole rock star feel, man. Just fucking break all the windows and the mirrors and just throw shit around and just have that experience, man. Just rage.
Oh my god.
And so yeah, I remember we actually were driving from the concert to the hotel
In an Escalade limo.
In an Escalade limo, right?
Ooh, nice.
And it's, you know,
Hell
we're all
yeah.
chill. Like, I mean, I guess it was a big moment for me. I'd never been in one of those things, and so we're all excited.
This is like my 4th time.
And we start rapping. You know, Aaron's like, I want to hear you guys rap. Like, let's rap. And so, boom, we just started spilling just right there in the limo.
Homegrown crackers.
Yeah. One of the
Homegrown
songs
crackers.
that was playing not too long ago. But yeah, we just started rapping that. Everybody's feeling the flow. Everybody's feeling it.
Even
And
the
then-
limo driver.
then
he
all of a
rolls the
sudden,
window.
yeah, limo driver rolls down the window.
He's like, that's tight.
That's real good, dude. What's your guy's name? We're just like, out of the blue, this guy is just, he's down with it. And he was just, and to be honest, he was like very unsuspecting of a Fat Cashco fan. I think he was just like 50-year-old guy, a little bit heavyweight, looked Cuban or something like that. I don't know. But in the end, it was, liked it, you know, and we just rolled with it. Then, of course, just if you're wondering, we went back to the hotel room.
Trashed that room.
We
I don't think
trashed
I've
it.
ever destroyed as many things in such a short amount of time.
It was
We
like,
were walking in the next morning, and that guy was like mopping. There was like 3 inches of water in the hotel room.
Damn.
yeah,
Oh,
we
man.
messed up the toilet in some way to where it just overflowed, and then yeah, the whole room was flooded, and we just had to play it off because we literally stayed in the room next door, you know. And then I just kind of woke up in the morning with the camera and was like, I'm gonna just go in the room and just check it out.
Worst hangover.
And I go
of
and
my life.
open it, and like the camera just reveals like water everywhere. There's broken beer bottles everywhere. The TV was all thrown out the window, and like microwaves all busted. It was horrible. And right as I'm filming all this, some staff member from the hotel kind of walks up behind me and looks at me, and I'm like, oh man, these guys just trashed this room and they left, and we were just next door. Like, oh man, I just tried to play it off, and
We heard them all night. It's
Yeah.
not us though.
Wait, so your buddy, did he have to pay for all that damage?
yes, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
In the end, it was a week later. He got back to us and told us it was $4,400 worth of damage into the room,
Ouch.
which I thought it was gonna be more. I was like $4,400. Like, let's do it again.
That's not bad. That's about $4,000.
But yeah, good little story time there, and of course, there was a lot of music involved in that. So
Yeah. What's the biggest show you guys ever played?
I would say our first show. First show we ever did, it was 2010.
in Walla Walla.
It was February of 2009 or 10. I want to say it was February 2010. And it was at the old Underground. For those of you who have been in Walla Walla for a long time, the Underground is across the street from Marcy's, which was the old pita pit. And then at the time it was called the Metropolis. And we probably pulled like 150 people down into there.
Yeah, it was
And
really
if you've
small.
ever been down there, you know, like, it's a pretty small venue, but man, we rocked the Casbah that night.
Man, I feel like we talked about this the other day and said that was our first show and it was our biggest show, and we don't
said
even
that
know
was
how
the
we don't even
biggest
know
show.
how it got booked. We didn't book it, and there was one of the guys at the show that we identified his name. Somebody tell me his name. Cooper. Shout out to Cooper. He actually booked our very first show at the Underground in Walla Walla. Biggest show that we ever had. Everybody who else played with us was like, that's like the best turnout we've ever had. So
Well, we've had a lot of really awesome shows too, like, you know, the one we did at the Rock Reactor in December of 2011. Well, and you can actually find that show on YouTube. Fat Cash & Co. at the Rock Reactor 2011.
Yeah, that's
you can
there.
find that show. That was one of our favorite shows because that was the first show that we actually tried like choreography. Remember, with the whole
Yep.
big booty,
No way.
switch it up and lean.
Instead of just four guys wandering around on stage, we're like, all
We
right,
had spots where we
here's
were
a
gonna
dance
be.
move.
We had
No
dance
way.
moves we were gonna do.
That's awesome.
And honestly,
You
we
guys should do that tonight.
we
Well,
upstaged.
I'm not a Chris Brown or anything.
We
but, you know.
upstaged the headliner
I'll
band
move.
that night, and we had some guys come up to us after the show and be like, "Man, you guys were way better than the."
They offered
you
us a
know,
$1 million
I don't want to
contract.
diss on their name, but
No way.
Turned it down.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I saw you,
some guy from Warner Brothers. I don't know.
I saw you guys in Milton Freewater last summer,
Yeah. I remember that one.
and I had a really, really good time. And
Oh,
it
that was in That was in November.
November.
Yeah.
November
2000.
25th.
And,
yeah, last year.
It was
Yeah.
Zealous. Matthew McCollum set that one up, right?
Matt, yep.
Yeah.
And that was at the Relative Insanity nightclub. That was actually a really good show too.
That was a
Indy,
really
you
good
weren't
show.
I was not there.
You weren't
Did not
there for
make
that
that
one. That was a really good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that show.
You guys were throwing money on the floor.
Yeah.
Had to make it rain, you know.
Oh man, that's
dry.
cool. I'm glad to hear that you were
Yeah,
at that
so-
show because that one was good.
So we gotta bring Matt back now. He's
My-
gonna be
He's
back.
gonna be here tonight. Yeah.
My comment is that all the other performers, did their thing, and there was people standing around, and then once Fat Cash got on the stage, jumping around, dancing around, like popping in, popping out,
Yeah.
all of them. Everyone got excited, and it was like the energy in the room was really good. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this, because I had a really good time. So I'm gonna try and recreate that.
Exactly. We'll try to capture that energy. I mean, I feel like with the guys that we have in the group, man, there's like so many different
It's like
aspects.
lightning in a bottle,
Totally,
it's-
man.
We're the shit.
We got that energy. You want some? We'll bring it.
I'm stoked. I'm fucking stoked.
Yeah, I was gonna say once you got all your sound equipment set up, man, I
Yeah.
could tell that you were real excited to do some DJing. Too.
Yeah, you can probably see it on my face, the stress.
Yeah,
like-
dude. I think you're like, yes,
Yeah.
my sound system.
It took like 20 minutes to get my thing all set up. My
Yeah,
DJ
we're gonna be painting the town red tonight.
Oh,
right
yeah.
after this podcast, we're gonna be out there on our feet on the street,
Downtown
handing
skate
out
park.
flyers.
Shit, nobody's at the college today, but you know,
Yeah.
everywhere in you
But
can
if
be
you
in Walla Walla.
see us,
I think we should go to one of the colleges, the library. They
Mhm.
got to be open today. Whitman.
The
Whitman
library. Look
yeah.
out, Whitman Library.
Yeah.
yeah, we coming for you.
Coming for you.
There might be people at the community college.
I bet there are.
Yeah.
Well, it's summertime though. Summer classes.
Yeah, there's summer classes, especially people in trade.
Well, our,
type
our
jobs.
plans were to hit the bars downtown and just kind
Hit
of
the hot spots, Walmart,
walk the street, Walmart.
Yeah.
Safeway,
Don't forget the Rochester.
Oh.
the Roch.
He's not from here, so he doesn't get it.
Oh,
I don't get it, but I'll roll with it.
It's like a slummy.
Oh,
Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
under
Definitely
an
not as good as
overpass.
the Marcus
After
Whitman.
party,
Yeah.
right? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we were really happy because I feel like this is the most satisfying venue that I've ever been at. Because we're used to being at a bar, like
Or club. Yeah.
dealing with somebody else's equipment, dealing on somebody else's terms,
Yeah, you guys pretty much took it over.
Well,
You
yeah,
guys
we
took over the show.
There's so many times we've been in places where it's like, yeah, you're gonna be a performer. You're gonna play at 7:00. We would like you to show up at 4:30 for sound check or something. And we show up at 4:30 and the doors are locked and nobody's there.
We're always on time, and we're always as professional as we can be. And we've always made that kind of a staple in what we do is being professional, not showing up, drunk and high, but showing up,
Too drunk.
Breaking
ready to do a show.
breaking the norm of a rapper. Like baggy pants and like this.
Well, I think another big thing is, and I guess maybe I'll toot my own horn a little bit here on the whole Fat Cashico thing, is that, man, I've been looking at a lot of modern music, and sometimes when I really like a song or I really like a vocalist, I look at them and I realize it's not all them. I mean, there are a lot of people who are 100% independent who do all their own stuff, and much respect for all you guys because I love that. But sometimes it catches me by surprise when I was like, oh, that person didn't write that song.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
That's pretty common.
it is. It's
Very
pretty
common.
common.
Having a ghostwriter.
I feel like it's kind of, you bring a different energy to the stage, when you see a song through from its conception to it being written to its beat being produced
Performing
to you
it.
recording to even performing it, and it's something that I feel is like an untouchable staple about what we do, that no matter how shitty our music is or whatever somebody puts a judgment on it, the one thing is I can say that the label on it is 100% Fat Cash and Co. So it's like
You guys
I like
produce
it.
your own music, right?
100%, absolutely. Make all the own beats and master it, mix it down, record it, everything.
Nice.
Distribute it at this point even on our own. So
You were talking earlier about how you made that one song that was just super stereotypical and
Yeah.
funny and
The early
stuff.
day,
it's called the
days.
game. It's
Yeah.
called the game, bitch.
Yeah, back in the early days, it was almost like shock rap, and you gotta,
Yeah.
when you're trying to get on your feet as a rapper, you can't just speak your mind because no one wants to hear that. They want to hear they want to hear what they're hearing on the radio. They want to hear about, smoking weed, and just like
Fuck the president.
chugging 40s and a lot of our earlier music and a lot of that stuff, we were doing. Obviously, we weren't out shooting people and spraying guns.
We were partying pretty good though.
But we were raging, and a lot of our earlier music just kind of reflects the early stages of being a rapper, just kind of like the rookiness of rapping. When you compare that to the songs we're putting out today, and you can see a clear evolution in our music, from the things we're talking about to even our vocabulary, or even the way a song is set up, the way it flows. It's going to be a lot more crisp and clean now than the songs we were putting out like 10 years ago.
So like now that you have a fan base set up, you got their attention, you could
we don't have to say stupid shit.
You can say important stuff to you.
Yeah, things that mean something to us, but at the same time, you also have to keep it fun. No one wants to hear, 5 minutes of someone, talking about their life. They want to hear a blend of many things all in one song. And, having 4 or 5 people in a group who all have had a different life and different upbringing, it brings that variety to the table, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and so what's the content of your lyrics like now?
Well, I'd have to say a couple new songs that we have, like the one that's like biggest for us right now is Too Blessed to Be Stressed. And just the name alone kind of sends a different message. When you go from our first song, like The Game, and it's talking about this like this
lot of weed,
gangster
smoking,
world
gangster
sort
rap.
of thing that you do, and the things that you do for street credit or whatever like that, how shit rolls, like you just got jacked, bro. Sorry, that's the game. Like that's what we used to say or something. Oh, sorry, just banged your girlfriend. Sorry, bro, that's the game. Whatever, So now it's like
messed up.
yeah, it is, yeah. I didn't say it too many times, but that's the reference,
Yeah.
So you guys have thrown a show with Bryce before, right? That's what I heard.
Not that I know of. I never have.
You guys have been in a show with Bryce?
I've not performed with. Oh, Bryce at the Nest, huh?
The Nest, that would have been March of 2010.
How do you remember all this stuff
Yeah.
like perfectly?
Freaking Rain Man
Yeah.
over here,
No, and that was a cool show. That was a big show. I really enjoyed that show. Back then, oh man, just so nostalgic thinking back to the show, like going into a pawn shop and renting a PA system.
What?
Just things like that.
Yeah.
Things that we don't have to do anymore. Do we kind
You
of?
can rent from a pawn shop?
Yeah, you can rent a whole PA.
What?
Or it was from Sun Rental plug. It was cool. Yeah, that was a good.
Sun Rental.
That was a good show.
Shout out.
We did a couple shows there, and then we've done shows with the other artist Matt. We've done a show with the one that you were at in November. He was there. I think he went on.
There were a bunch of guys
There
at
was
that one.
22 artists at that show.
Yeah.
We can tone it down a little bit tonight,
No, there's gonna be 3
We can
bands.
tone it,
right?
yeah. 3 bands, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played a metal show here in Walla Walla?
No. I think that first show that we did at the Underground
Was like a
technically
crossover.
was a rock show,
Okay.
and somebody booked us for that,
Okay.
and so we opened, drew in all these people, and then
It was
lots
our
of-
first show and their last show, and so it was like
Yeah.
a huge crowd.
That's
It was
cool. A
huge crowd.
send off almost.
Yeah,
was,
it
yeah.
was a send off. Yeah,
Passing
and
of the torch.
And it was
Yeah.
our
There you go.
birth. It was our debut. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I'm just wondering because all these places, my band used to play back in like 2010, 2011, but I was a death metal band. So
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I
Okay.
was wondering if maybe we played with you some weird way.
What was your band name?
Among the Ascending,
It doesn't ring a bell.
yeah, or Battalion. I was in one of those too.
Where do
Battalion.
you play?
Yeah. Drums.
There you go. It's hard to find a good drummer, man. Okay. All right.
You play other instruments though too.
Yeah. Do you guys play any instruments besides?
Yeah, I play guitar.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, and I mean, keyboards, is for
Yeah.
lots of the music. But I don't really play keyboard like live too much. I just mix it down and make beats with it and stuff. So,
Cool.
but other than that, guitar. Yeah, I actually did a performance acoustic. I was singing and playing acoustic guitar at the Red Monkey one time on an open mic night.
Yeah.
But I think they didn't like what I was
No
doing,
way.
so they're like, "Yeah, let's get you out of here." So yeah, I was like, "I got one more song." They're like, "Give it up for Sean." I was like, all right.
No, I don't play any instruments, but I've always been really big into theater and musicals.
Cool.
So I've done a couple musicals here in Walla Walla, like down at Corner Hall. I've done plays, I've done theater plays through the college. So if I could say I played an instrument, it would just be my own voice, because I've always been very comfortable on stage. Always been very, very comfortable on stage. I could stand in front of 1 million people and sing any song I know, you know, and that's always been my, you know, musical talent is
karaoke.
I can sing, and I'm not scared to make an ass of myself, you know, and I've been dressed up like a leprechaun singing songs in front of like 500 people, you know, singing Irish songs for musicals and stuff like that. And I dig it, you know, and I think that's important. You know, you can't limit yourself to one thing. You can't, I just rap. Like, nobody just raps, you know, people. Yeah. I can't
We're
say
actors.
nobody just raps. But I like to keep my plate, you know, full. All sorts of different things. 'Cause we skate,
Creative-wise.
we snowboard, you know, we also put on huge events at skate parks. And I'll plug that at the end of this podcast just for everyone's benefit. But we're jacks of all trades. You know, we do as much as we can, and
I DJ
I love
weddings.
it. Yeah, he DJs weddings. You know,
my DJ skills aren't super great. Like I'm not gonna sit there and cut shit up and nothing like that. But you know, I know
you're
how to
learning.
pick
You're
songs.
getting it. You know.
But
And,
you did a wedding last night, right?
Yeah, I did.
How'd that go?
It went pretty good. I'm gonna mention though, it didn't go as good as I wanted to. I feel like this wedding was set to end at 9 p.m., which I was like, that's a little early for a wedding, you know, like to end. And then the other thing was that I feel like they weren't drinking a whole lot, okay? So when it came down time to like start dancing, I only got kids coming out, man. Only kids were dancing for a while.
Huh.
And then I was like, okay, I got to do one of these like group songs. So I threw the cha-cha slide on. And I feel like everybody got on the dance floor just for the cha-cha slide. And then it was like good 30, 40 people dancing cha-cha slide, the same moves, you know. And then that's when everybody got super excited about dancing. Oh, everybody got their phones out and started filming like 30 people doing the cha-cha slide. And then cha-cha slide ended and boom,
Scattered.
gone. And then people just got in their trucks and left.
Huh.
So it had nothing to do with me. It totally was the crowd. I'm telling you, they just weren't drunk enough, and you know, they all seemed really shy, you know. But
I know what you mean, though. I'm a DJ as well, so like, I love when you bring them to the dance floor, and that the high you get, kind of like when you get people on the dance floor. It's a moment, and then like there's a lot of pressure because the next song could either make or break it, and then I always lost them. I always would get them for the one song, just like you said, and then lose them.
it's like, I should have just done like the Cupid Shuffle next. Just gonna do the same
The
fucking
hokey
thing.
pokey.
It's really hard. There we go. Get as generic as you like there. But yeah, it was good. I mostly just say that I MC. When I go to these weddings, it's just because I just love to be same way RJ said, man. Like I'm very comfortable on stage, and when you go to a wedding, everybody's so fucking uncomfortable. Everybody's like, oh, how's my hair? Oh my god, it's so hot. Oh my god, am I sweating? Yeah, and then obviously big moments. You're gonna be up there saying your vows, microphone on you, officiant. And you gotta be, and as the DJ, you gotta be the coolest guy in the room, man. So anybody can walk up to you and be like, oh, wait, where's the bride? And you'd be like, it's cool. Bride's all good. She's just signing the license, and somebody could come up and be like, oh my god, we don't have the cake. Where's the cake? Hey, don't worry. You stress there, groom. You don't stress, you know. Just chill, groom. I'll go and grab the cake and get somebody. You know,
you have a lot of control over the wedding too, as a DJ or MC.
people
It's like
look to you. for
all
that.
based around you,
Yeah,
and like the music and all that.
kind of like
First dance and mother-daughter dance or whatever, father-daughter dance.
Mhm. Yeah,
Music.
Yeah.
gotta love it.
You know, in some cultures, music and dance is the same word, so you can't distinguish the two.
That's
it's like
cool.
if you're hearing music, you're dancing. It's crazy.
That is
I wish it
interesting.
was like that in America.
Yeah.
Okay, this is weird. I'm gonna drop some biblical stuff here, and I don't know if this is true, and anyone can call me out on this, but I was looking at it, and musical instruments, the ancestry of music, comes primarily from the descendants of Cain, as in Cain of Abel.
Okay.
Cain and Abel, and I don't know. It makes me seem like that there's this sense of like some sort of a unique
Forbidden.
spirit. Well, I don't know. I feel like a spiritualness. I mean, I know Cain did his thing, but once he did his thing, he tried his best to follow through, you know, and be like a good guy, you know, be righteous and shit. So I feel like it's this like it's an alternative way to find spirituality.
It's
in
a way to
music.
tell stories.
I think it's a universal language, man, and you can speak
Yeah.
it in any country, and
Body
I feel like
movements.
any world.
Definitely.
You know, That's why they put that like gold record out there in space with just music on it, you know, just so if somebody finds it.
Elon Musk, shout out.
There you go. Shout out.
That wasn't Elon Musk that did it, though.
We should shoot our music into space.
They just see a really nice car out there and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, you guys should. You should blow a CD out into space.
Yeah,
Organic Elon Musk.
Nah, it's gonna be a jump drive. I'll have it all digital, bro.
Yeah.
Isn't it playing music though? Also, he sent
His car is it's going out there. It's got music on, right?
on in the vacuum of space. So can you hear it?
No.
No, but there's also a record in there as well.
No. I didn't know that. I was
That's
talking
on
about
Voyager.
Voyager, yeah. That when was that launched?
70s.
74? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Samantha
Oh,
knows that.
well, okay. So what I was talking about was the red Roadster that he sent up into space. He sent it up with this form of music that
Mixtape.
can't be broken.
Elon Musk mixtape.
No, it was David Bowie is what he sent up.
Oh, got you. What is it? Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the late David Bowie.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Boom, 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 boom.
Well, hey, thanks for chatting. I think we should probably get your other half on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure working with you, Brad.
Yeah.
Cool,
It's
man.
Nice to meet you guys.
Good to open up.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
No,
tonight.
tonight's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more of the goods. Make it out.
A little intermission.
Oh, and by the way, so the Benton City Skate Jam is our skate event we throw. That's on September 15th at the skate park in Benton City. It's a free event. Big skate contest. We put it on.
Shout out.
I'll DJ. Also, one other shout out. Turn It Up. It's going to be the motion picture event of the century. I'm just kidding. It's actually going to be the movie that we're filming in Tri-Cities. We're looking for extras and everything. Big shout out.
And our band is featured in the movie, so.
Cool.
Yeah. We'll tell you guys more about that later. Switch it up.
All right.
Change up is happening. We're getting
Yeah.
the other half of the band on right now.
Right. We had to split this up.
To sit next to Nick.
Oh,
You can sit next to me. It's okay.
we work together though. So this is Mikey.
String Cheese,
String
a.k.a.
Cheese.
Fat Cash & Co.
Yeah.
For those who are just listening,
How's it going, guys?
Hi.
Hello.
do you want to do introductions?
What's up, world?
Stringy, go ahead.
String Cheese, Fat Cash & Co. We're having a show tonight. Make sure you guys come down to the prestigious Marcus Whitman Hotel. We're in the Lewis room.
It's beautiful here.
It's gonna be lit for sure.
Yeah.
And your name, sir?
I'll be Brian, also known as Tank Dizzle. Would be my stage name. Been doing hip hop for a real long time, probably over 10 years. The whole nine, making beats, performing shows, writing music. Kind of to touch on what the guys were talking about, we started a little over 10 years ago. Just one thing led to another. We started writing some stuff on paper. That sort of got a rhythm to it. Looking up beats online, and one thing, everything fell in place. Called String Cheese up here in Walla Walla because he was kind of the only one that wasn't in the immediate circle at the time of Indy, RJ, and I. And once he met up with us, we took off, fired like a rocket, man. It was pretty good.
Yeah, once I got the phone call, I think it was 2007, they called me up. They're like, we're starting a band, Fat Cash & Co. We got all these lyrics. We're doing all these things. I just wanted to be a part of it, so I made an effort to go out to Benton City. I think I went out there that whole summer and just hung out with them guys and partied and kicked it. And I touched bases on what Fat Cash was talking about, like with the freestyle floats that we used to get together. We'd get in these ciphers, and we'd just be like at the skate park, and Frenchie would bust out a beatbox, and we'd all just start flowing, and we'd have like 18 tracks or more of just like anything you wanted to hear, any kind of flavor of music you wanted. If you wanted to hear like how I'm gonna get with your girl, I got a track about that. You know, it's like you want to hear about how like we don't want no fat bitches in our life. You know, we got a song about that. You know, our past was a little hardcore. We came out raw. We had that NWA style. You know, and I still try to bring that rawness.
Do all you guys skate?
I skate, yeah. That's where it started for me. It was Benton City skating early on with the rock music, like everyone said, which is kind of weird. I feel like I don't know where it changed in my life, but like I never listened to rap music ever. Like I was all about rock and skating, and like it was like, oh yeah, skaters versus wrestlers kind of thing for a while, and
The preps and the skaters.
preps and skaters, yeah. But
it kind of led into this, like, once I think the party scene is what introduced the rap feel, because like parties and rap and like that kind of music, it all just goes together. You don't necessarily hear the hardcore rock music going at parties. Those are like thrashers where they're like wrecking houses, and those weren't the kind of parties we were into.
When you do ciphers or freestyles, it's interactive as well for the crowd or for the people around you. They get into it.
Right. Yeah. And then that's when
flow of energy.
Yeah, like you build people up. Like we did a D-Rock's birthday party at my parents' house, and it was just a birthday party, and Fat Cash, they're like, oh, Fat Cash and Co's gonna be there, you know, and all of a sudden it like turned into this like event. Like it was just a birthday party, and then all of a sudden we're all crowded around this island in the kitchen, and they had it was funny because they like turned all the lights off, you know, and they had the island light above us like shining like a stage light, and we just like killed it right there. And everyone's like, just that feeling you get when you're like, everybody's like feeling you, and you're like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's very euphoric, yeah, and it brings people together, and it's something to talk about, and it's like it's a lot of fun. So
you have a couple of signature sounds. Yep. That's what it was right there.
Yeah. You already know. String cheese. Yeah. The song Faded. We came up with that song in the basement on Cherry Street over here, kind of in the hood, you know, over there by the Rochester area. And we came up with a lot of cool rhymes there. Sky we knew. Dre, he had a studio, and we just go over there and the thing is like we would just find beats and rap to them. We already had good lyrics. Like we would just find beats and rap to them. Now we're like moving into this thing where we're like making the beats. You know, we're writing the rhymes to the beats instead of writing the other way around. So I think it's cool where it's going. And
yeah, we definitely took a big step forward from just writing down ideas pretty much on paper to full board music production. You know, beat making software, plugging guitars into interfaces, and recording samples of tracks, piano samples as well, and then just incorporating kind of everything together. We've came a long way from the beginning of just sort of, hey, I got an idea for a song, let's write some funny you know, lyrics down, and then try to wrap them to whatever rhythm we can find. We are now actually taking samples and exploring all the possibilities of music.
Yeah, like Faded, it just started out like I was just in the basement just repeating 4 words like, I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm stoned, I'm faded, I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm stoned, I'm faded. And it just got like really annoying after a while, just like I was just being like annoying, and then somehow it like stuck in our brains, and then we heard a beat and we're like, oh, I'm high, I'm drunk, I'm stoned, I'm faded, and then it just like turned into this big old like, oh, okay, now we got like lyrics to put on it, and then like people started coming to town with it. Like, yeah, it was crazy. It was fun. Good times.
So what do you guys do for like your real-time jobs? Like, what do you do in the real world when you're not?
I work for Hyundai Motors.
Okay.
So for the Koreans over in Hyundai, and I specialize in the service department. So you need an oil change or your car breaks down, you know, if it's a relatively new vehicle, we get you in covered under warranty, and you know, other instances extended warranties. But I work over at Spec Hyundai in Tri-Cities, and pretty professional setting. So you notice no tattoos or anything like that would
That's true, yeah.
steer you down that path. But yeah, just keep a real clean lifestyle, clean job. Definitely is what provides everything that you see here, and the opportunity to do it. So you got to kind of be able to
have balance.
Yeah, have balance. Draw the line in the sand. That's like, okay, I'm gonna take my career to the next level, and that might affect my music. However, you know, it ultimately leads back around, because as long as you have time for music, you'll always have that hobby, that outlet.
So you guys, Mikey had mentioned that you guys kind of stopped doing what you guys were doing and got back together, like or started putting more of a focus on the Fat Cash and Co. thing. Was that about a year ago, or like before Milton?
Yeah, it was like we kind of made a mountain for ourselves when it came to being able to overcome all the old material that we had. Because, you know, we've been writing rhymes for so long, you just get random ideas for so many years, and then you look back on it and it's like, wow, we got 35, 40 tracks now, and then none of them are really over halfway done. They all just have lyrics or an idea or concept, and so there was a large space there, I think maybe 2 or 3 year space, where there wasn't any songs being written. There was just kind of work being done to help take care of the whole image of that. Would be like getting the guys back involved in everything so that they can finish their parts of certain songs, preparing to have people in your studio and stuff like that. I think there was a lot of preparation that happened in those 2 years to bring us over the last year, where we've been able to, I think, overcome and actually record the bulk 25 of the 30 songs.
So did you guys go back and finish, or did you start fresh?
We did. We went back and we took the first rhymes we ever wrote, and we practiced on those ones and finished those tracks, and you can hear them on our SoundCloud. Hater Meet My Gator was one of them. Kind of Green Machine is another. Like those rhymes we wrote back in Homegrown Crackers, 2007, 2008, and they're just now kind of coming into fruition. I definitely can attribute the 2 year absence to putting work to make that happen.
Yeah.
Really, because it was a grind to be able to produce your own beats, to be able to record all your own lyrics and the original intention. You write something 10 years ago and recite it. It's different. You feel different. Your emotions different about it. So it sounds different. You got to kind of overcome that.
I was having a conversation with a coworker the other day about a performer's music when he first started his career. If he was to wait to make that music till later in his career, when he might be better at rapping or better with his instrument, if it would affect, if it would sound better. So you guys are taking songs from the very beginning and then kind of polishing them up, maybe tweaking it, making it more mature, probably, or
yeah. And on that note, dude, I would encourage anybody to not second guess themselves and put it off, because I feel like that's kind of what we did. And if I had to have any hindsight or any lesson learned, it's that when we really had the raw energy that we needed back in the day to do exactly what we wanted. We just sort of lacked the foresight to see exactly. We didn't have any mentor or tutor,
direction.
And the people who you looked up to really just want to take advantage of you and use you for your fans and to get people into the show at their shows. So one thing when I look back on it, I wish we had better direction, in the sense of everyone's capable of making their own music, everyone's capable of doing it, and you really should just do it, not worry about if it's going to sound the best it should, or if you should polish up and sound better. You just need to capture the energy while you have it. Otherwise, you'll lose it. And I think especially over years and years.
Now, is your music and stuff being received pretty well now that you've kind of redone it?
Yeah, I think it's better than ever at this point, because before you got to look at your fan base, and you get a lot of people cheering for you, and no disrespect to any of our fans. Of course, if you love our music, we love you. but it's like, do you really want gangbangers listening to your songs? They're not necessarily the kind of market that you want to appeal to. You want to appeal to somebody who can afford to buy your music, who will continue to come back,
point.
who has a cell phone to immediately download it on, to watch it on. So you do have to portray yourself to a different market and with a higher standard. But at the same time, lots of our fans that have been there from the beginning aren't those type of wine connoisseurs and executive type of people. They are the backbone of America. The grinders, I want to say the middle class, if you will, of people. And
you guys have pretty intelligent raps. Like, your rhymes are kind of nerdy almost. Not really, but intelligent. Like, I don't feel like
thought out,
It's not just all boats and hoes.
Yeah.
Our metaphors are wax floors coming out so smooth and clean. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Hey, you guys have any music videos or any plans for music videos?
We've done a couple of kind of documentary style videos where we sort of take you back and tell you, hey, this was our idea of the song, the concept that we had behind it, and then we do a short little music video. You can check out Beaches or Homegrown Crackers on our YouTube channel, or even on Facebook. Just little clips. We do intend to come out with some videos this year. I think that's kind of in the cards, definitely. Podcast was kind of one of them. Getting a live show going is
Yeah.
another thing.
Yeah, whatever
I
we
think.
can do to get the public to see who we are,
Yeah.
let them know what our music is. Like, it's crazy to think about, like, the 10 years from where we were when MySpace first started
Oh man.
to where we are now with Instagram and hashtagging
And
everything.
live.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's,
Facebook
and
Live.
your music's on our music's on SoundCloud, so it's, everything's so much easier to access. We were doing it like flash drives and CDs, and like we had to have big computer towers, and we'd take them from house to house to be able to copy CDs for people. You know, and it's
Wow.
like we'd have like stacks of CDs that we would just go hand out. Like, hey, I'm sure I still have a
Back
few.
in the day.
You know, and yeah, we just had, it was so much fun, like that feeling that you get. So we're trying to bring that back now that we have it in art. Like art, we have control of it. So it's like now we can host the shows, we can get the bands, we can, you know, like we can create the party. You know?
Are you guys gonna see very many of your original fans tonight?
Oh yeah, I plan to. I hope they come out tonight.
Be like the OG fans.
Jeff's gonna be there. Hefe. He was one of the Walla Walla chapters, BSK.
What's that?
Benton Skate Crew.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So yeah,
You're
we
like,
all
BSK.
He was a big part of that because and getting people hyped up about it like that. He was a big part of that. Jeff was for sure, and I hope he's gonna be here tonight for sure, and I'm sure he'll bring like 10 people with him. He was always like talking us up to people. He was telling them all the time how good we were, and
Well, you guys are
we
good.
just spit it anytime. Like, you want to hear anything, we'll just spit you a few bars. You know. It's like,
Yeah, you guys aren't just good. You guys have good energy together, and that's a big part of it.
yeah, I think it's important to have that balance. Like, I bring the hype, you know. Tank Dizzle's got that smooth bass feel, you know. RJ's got his, like, the way he lyrically can put things together is very intelligent.
Yeah, what's up with
smooth.
his Rain Man stuff? Holy cow, he knows every date to everything. That's
He's a pretty
crazy.
intelligent individual.
Man, yeah, me and RJ, we've stuck it out
You guys are
together.
brothers, right?
Yeah, me and RJ, yeah, we are brothers. We grew up together, and it's crazy. Like, he's always my go-to guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'd ask him anything, or like he'd always have it under control. That's why we call him the Don, because he was like, he had shit on lock all the time.
Always had
Especially
someone
Benton
to go.
City, like especially in Benton City. Like, we would roll up to the park in Benton City. And you would see crowds of people just like coming from the park to just come over to see what RJ was up to that day. You know what I mean?
What?
It's like we were figures in that
Well,
town.
I
We moved it to Walla Walla and just tried to keep that going.
when we were first talking about the show, you had suggested to me to talk to RJ.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, you got this question? Ask RJ. RJ
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
everyone.
He's
And
got
he
a big
does.
network of people, ranging from just starting it back in the day with the BSK, like creating that original crew of people. Like, there's a picture out there that's probably still up on Facebook. There's of the original like Benton City skate crew kids, and it's like we're just out there. All we were doing is having fun skating. We do a little jackassing here and there, you know, jumping into bushes and stuff, but mostly just out there having fun, you know, being kids. And we needed an outlet at the time, so we I'd say as kids our outlet was skating, you know. So our new outlet is music. You know, it just keeps evolving, keeps growing. So it's exciting to see where it goes.
So I asked the first half what you guys did. Oh no, I asked you guys what you guys did. You never said what you do in real life.
For profession, yeah. No, I cook it up. I grill it. I chill it. I do it all day. I sear it.
Where do you cook
I'm right here at the Marcus Whitman.
We
Matter
work
of fact,
together.
Me and Nick are online all day together.
That's right.
It's fun. I was like, why is he asking me where I work? Oh, okay.
That's hilarious. You rapped the answer. That was smooth.
Oh yeah.
You guys ever just kind of throw stuff together live on stage? Just make something up?
I enjoy
freestyle.
freestyling a lot. I think there was a party recently I was at. Tank Dizzle was there, and I was just having such a good time freestyle. I don't even know if I sounded good. I was pretty faded, but I was coming out smooth. Just everything was like lining up.
Well, we plan on doing that
Homeboy's
tonight.
shirt was like there. It was like it was good. Yeah, I love freestyle. It's like it's that language, you know, you're speaking that different tongue, and so many people can just like get chills from it, or like can relate to it, you know what I mean? So I love freestyles.
Yeah. I love a good freestyle too. Back when I first started doing hip hop, I was more about writing and kind of being prepared before you could step on stage. But since then, you know, just so many rhymes have come and gone, and so many songs that I really feel like, you know, freestyling is now a doable thing. It's not. It's not something you get stage fright from.
It was really hard to do before, because like we'd get bands that would come up all the time and be like, "Oh, freestyle," and we'd be like, "No, we don't freestyle. Like we have all our shit written down. We don't freestyle."
So you're saying like you get enough tools in the tool belt, enough prior raps, and enough like flow, practice enough to
repetition.
Yeah. And you can not only do that, but you get away from sounding the same, freestyling the same way every time. So it's you know, you get someone who's not very inexperienced. They might be able to freestyle, but then they maybe say the same words again and again, or they have the same kind of go-to style again and again. And
it's old.
It's just you want to be. I wanted to be better than that when I freestyle. And String Cheese has natural ability. He's been doing it since 6th grade, I think.
He always is doing it on the line at work.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. My first rhyme was 6th grade. Performed in front of the assembly at school.
What, talent contest?
Yeah, it was like a talent contest. I came out with this blue flame beanie on. I was like sweater, you know, like I was Slim Shady'd out. I had mom spaghetti on my sweater.
Oh goodness.
I don't know. It was great though. Like I come out, I was like, oh yeah, mac and cheese, something. It was like,
They wanted you to rap the lunch menu, right?
It was like something about mac and cheese. They're like, I was like, get 6 cups of water and put it in a pot. Turn it on hot until it gets hot. It was like, set it aside and take a little ride to the half cup of milk and 1/4 of butter. Think about that macaroni makes my stomach flutter.
There you go.
And then it was like, here's the part where you get up and strain it, pour the cheese in, pretty easy, ain't it? And then someone would come up with like a bowl of mac and cheese, like the Easy Mac, and I just walk off stage eating it.
That's awesome. The lunch menu.
And we'd even like during lunch, like there was this kid, Josh McClain. He was like he wasn't a rival, but you know, like 8 Mile was really popular back then, so he was like my free world, you know. And we would get out on lunch break, and we'd be like in this group, like we would draw crowds together like a cipher, you know, and we'd just be like just freestyle rapping to each other, and then like all the what do you call them, the duties or whatever, the people who were watching you out on the playground supervisors would all come around like, is there a fight, what's going on, because we'd just be huddled up. Yeah,
kids are just rapping.
They're just rapping. That's what they do nowadays, I guess. Like, it was a very new thing. It was cool. It inspired me to get into rap. So, and I've been into that. I think that's why they called me up in 2007. It was like, we need you. We need that energy that you have, that fire that you bring. And
did you say why they called you up when you were 7?
No, 07.
07.
Yeah, no. 2007, I got that call. Like, let's do this, and we did it for a few years, and it was lit.
Where'd your name come from?
String Cheese?
Yeah.
That's a funny story about that. Well, I guess Fat Cashin told his story of vandalism, so I have no shame in my game. It was a late night, Benton City. We were strolling the streets. I think we were all packed, maybe 5 in the back seat, 3 in the front.
There were 8 people in a 5-seater.
We were rolling, right? We're cruising. It's dark. It's late. I think we had some string cheese or something. And I hop out the car, and I hop out, and the Dawn's rolling next to me. I got my knife, and I slash every tire on that street. And just oh man.
Allegedly, of course.
That never really happened. This is just how I got my name. And we left a single piece of string cheese at the scene of the crime.
No way.
So on the news the next day, you know, they get
Are you fucking kidding me?
They get the only thing found at the scene of the crime was a single piece of string cheese.
Yeah.
No way.
And that's how.
No, you made that up.
Okay, let's get real. It's because I'm skinny and white. Okay.
And some dudes were making fun of you. They were like, "You look like a piece of string cheese."
Cheese, bro. I'm like, nah. I ain't no Parmesan. I ain't aged. I ain't no Asiago.
They're like, no,
Amigo.
you string cheese.
And he's like, you're string cheese. You're right. That's the fresh. The fresh. I was like, yeah, that's right. We peel back.
Peel back.
Oh, goodness.
Yep. That was allegedly, though. Can't say that really happened. Just like I didn't really leave those guys up on the water tower for hours. I guess you need a ladder to get down or something. I didn't mean to knock it over.
So what about you? How'd you get your name?
So Tank was my nickname kind of in high school. About junior year of high school. Went on a retreat with a bunch of family friends, and just one thing led to another. We were at a big retreat with a bunch of other families, and before we got there, we were all like, hey, we should all create fun nicknames. So we'll all know each other's nicknames, and then we'll create backstories, and we'll just give us reason to lie to people, basically. And we were going through, and homie wanted to be named Sebastian, and one of the girls wanted to be named Coco, and everyone had their own little weird names. And then when it came to me, I wasn't much for deciding, so they kind of came up with my name, and they thought that Tank was appropriate. And they're like, yeah, we'll tell everyone that your dad was in the military, and that's why your name's Tank. And then I went to this event, and it was a lot bigger than we anticipated. Everybody started recognizing me as Tank, so just random people who I never met, they'd be like, oh, there goes Tank. Yeah, he's Tank. His dad's in the military. And it's kind of grew so big that once I came back, everybody just kept calling me Tank, and it was just for the rest of high school they called me Tank, and then the rest of my life, pretty much. And then Dizzle, I just kind of added that on once I started doing music, just as sort of a little side
Dash at the
yeah,
dank.
little dash, just to sort of give you more syllables on the name, Tank Dizzle. But yeah, Tank's been the name ever since high school, pretty much.
Oh, cool. And the Dizzle was just
my own personal touch I put on it.
all right.
Give it a last name.
So, do you guys want to do a freestyle on the podcast?
Oh, shit.
I'd be up for it, yeah.
Or something? Treat it like a morning show. Like, what's that?
Oh, like Sway in the morning?
Sway in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, and we're about out of time, so
How
that'd
much
be a
time
good way
do we
to
have
end
left?
it.
There's 4 seats. We can.
A couple minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you want to rap about? I can do whatever. Let me
Yeah.
give a shout out to the people that are listening. See me glistening? It's the sweat on my forehead, huh? Nah.
Here we go with the flow so pro. Got the Optimo full of Joe. Light it up and about to puff tough. String cheese, Tank Dizzle. Chillin' with Nick and my nizzle on the microphone. Yeah, Al Capone in this piece. Let me show you to my little friend. Ooh, it's never gonna end. Fat cash beatboxing in my ear. Yeah, I'm about to steer this conversation in another direction. I'm fucking flexing on these motherfuckers at the intersection, just dropping that 6'4" Impala.
Boom. There you go. That was lit.
That was fun. Hey, come out to the show tonight. Appreciate these guys hosting us. It's been real. Maybe we'll
Thanks,
have us
Nick.
back.
Thanks, Brad.
Have us back after a few shows. And come out, Marcus Whitman, Explorer Ballroom, in the Lewis Room tonight. Got live DJ, Fat Cash and Co., Zealous, Dub City,
officials.
yeah, Young City and Bryce both going to be there. String Cheese will be there. Nick will be there on the 1s and 2s, as well as Fat Cash. And you're coming too, right, brother?
We
Yeah,
got drinks
I'll be in the crowd.
available.
You'll be in the crowd, okay.
There's gonna be
There will be a bar.
cheap drinks too.
Yep.
I think, right?
Yeah, we have a
We're
bar
gonna have-
available. There's
we're
going to
have
be food.
drink deals
Oh,
tonight. $2 beers.
A $2 beer special.
$2
$2
beers.
beer special. So
Draft.
you know
if you
can't
haven't,
get that.
if you haven't already, if you're one of our fans and you're watching us, follow these guys. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. What are we at, guys? Not Pendleton Promotions, right? We're
Finished Business Podcast.
Finished Business Podcast. What's
Our
your
handles down there, Brad.
handle?
No.
Not
Okay,
today.
click at the handle. Go subscribe to these guys. They're awesome. They do podcasts. They do stuff
I
much
have a
more
Twitter.
interesting than us.
Like
Twitter.
our page.
Drop your
I
handle.
have a
Like
Twitter.
our page.
It's at NKMCQUAIN.
There you go. And if you're one of their fans watching us, go like us, Fat Cash and Co. We give away stuff sometimes, and we'll be back to visit these guys.
And spread these guys around. Spread their music around.
It's going to be lit. We'll put some descriptions to SoundCloud.
Sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate that,
Yeah,
guys.
definitely.
Word.
All right.
All right.
Finished Business Podcast out.
Nice.
Very professional.
Straight, come on, straight. How many times will I wait? I sit and anticipate the turns of my fate. I learn from mistakes and decisions that I make. Be the first to give and never one to take. Yeah.